What's up? Thank you for coming in. We're just chilling out today, watching the water, hanging out, talking. Hope everybody's doing good. Sorry, but it's Steez, I think. Tried out the Steez. Oh, first it's God. What's up, Shashko? I don't know what that means. I don't have my translator. I can't translate what that means yet. So hopefully one of my mods come in here and they can translate that. If anybody knows what that means, let me know. How's everybody's day going? We're just chilling. Debut in the hoodies. Says if you believe in yourself, anything's possible. Anybody in here like the live for me, please? We're just getting started. I just came on live. We're just hanging out right now. I've had to cut my lives the last couple of days because it starts raining. Today it's not going to rain, so we're good. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Hope everybody's doing good. If you're not, let me know and we can talk about it. If you're having a hard day, let me know. We can talk about that. I can tell you about my story about how I lost my leg. I can tell you how I was born with a disability called spina bifida. I could tell you through what talk about my drug addiction, whatever you guys want to talk about. I've been through a lot, so I have a lot to talk about. Um, I lost my leg when I was 25, 24 actually, I think actually, due to drug addiction and not taking care of myself. I was in a bad way and I got a hole in my foot and ended up losing my leg. Please, people, like the live. It helps me grow the channel and reach out to more people and help more people. Um, Maybe we could save a live or two if you guys can help me share the live and get it out. And like the live. Nobody's liked the live so far. Please do so. I would appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I could actually, if you want to hear my whole story, I could tell that. It's pretty crazy. Um, I've almost died from drug addiction many times. I lost my leg. I was born with a disability called spina bifida. Um, I'll just go ahead and tell you guys my story. That way you guys can understand some stuff about me. First of all, my name is Scottie. I was born in a small town called Baker City, Oregon. I was born with a disability called spina bifida, where my back was messed up. My spine was crooked. My legs were backwards when I was born, I believe. Um, Nice to meet you too. Um, so I was born with that disability called spina bifida. I have a tube in the back of my head that keeps blood off my brain. Um, I had to wear leg braces. I still wear leg braces on one leg. Um, I was I had to learn how to walk differently than everybody else um, because my legs were obviously they were backwards. They had to break them forward. So I had to do a couple extensive surgeries for them to break my legs and make them straight again. Not straight because I do not. My legs are not straight like they do. I do not walk straight. I have a wobble when I walk. Everybody, please like the live. Um, I've had to wear leg braces my whole life. I was bullied, harassed, called a freak, called a penguin. I was pushed around. I was picked on constantly. Nobody wanted to hang out with me. I had maybe two friends growing up. Because nobody really, in this society that we have, nobody wants to hang out with somebody that has a disability and walks different than them. Um, Whoa, get away from me. Sorry, there's a bee flying around my face. Um, girls didn't like me growing up. Dudes, stop. Fucking douchebag. Sorry, I had to kill a wasp. He was trying to fly in my face and it was driving me nuts. Everybody, please like the live. It's just a button. All you got to do is push the heart. It's really easy. Um. Anyways, so I was bullied, picked on, called names. Um. Nobody really liked me because I had a disability. I was pushed around. Um. Up until I got to middle school, and then I got a good friend named Christian Barfus. He was my best friend growing up. Anytime somebody tried to pick on me, he would fight them. He taught me how to defend myself. Um, and this, I was still picked on in middle school. I just learned how to fight. Um, when I first got into middle school, I was doing drugs. Thank you. I appreciate you very much for saying that. Um, so I like I said, I was. Can you please like the live for me? I appreciate you. Um, that's the thing is I had haters growing up all my life. I still do because a lot of people don't like me or don't want to hang out with me because I have a disability or whatever, which is fine. I don't really. It's not that big a deal anymore. But it did traumatize me as a kid until I got to middle school. Um, and then I started doing drugs. Was doing pills a lot as a kid. Um, because this my disability came with a lot of pain. So I smoked a lot of weed growing up. I drank when I was growing up. Um, I did a lot of pills growing up. My parents never knew about it. It was the things that we hid. Obviously, you hide from your parents because if they would have known, they probably would have kicked my ass. But so I found my way into the drug world because in the drug world, nobody ever made me feel ostracized. Nobody ever picked on me. Nobody ever bullied me. The core channel, what's up? Thank you for coming in. Please like the live for me. Sorry I didn't see your comment until just now. Um, so I did pills, weed, drank, all the way up until I turned 21 years old, and then I found methamphetamines. When I found meth, the reason why I found meth is one day it was my 21st birthday. I walked upstairs and my brother was doing something in the corner. So I walked up, obviously, behind him to figure out what the hell he was doing. Thank you for liking the live. I appreciate it. And he was smoking off a meth pipe. At the time, I didn't know that. I didn't even know what meth pipes look like. Um, I was never around meth. I didn't like people that did meth. I swore my whole life that I would never be a meth addict. Um, until it happened, obviously, when I was 21. I did meth until I was about 24, and then I got a hole in the bottom of my foot. So I got a rock in my foot. It stuck through my foot, and I didn't even know because as a person with spina bifida, you don't really feel your legs. Um, but I got a hole in my foot. It dug a big ass hole in there, and then I didn't know that it was a big deal. I went to work because I was working a job at a restaurant. I went to work and all of a sudden my legs started having this excruciating pain. I couldn't figure out what this pain was, but it was an excruciating pain. Um, so I ended up going to the hospital finally after a year of having a hole in my foot. I go there. They tell me, "Hey, you have an infection in your body. We need to give you antibiotics immediately." Thank you guys for the likes on the live. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Um, they said we need to get you on antibiotics right now. So I did antibiotic treatment for about 6 months. They tried to save it. Please like the live, everybody. I think everybody maybe has already, but thank you. Um, so this became the heartbreaking part of my life. I was with somebody. Not going to really talk much about them. Um, was taking care of that person, helping that person raise a kid, helping that person raise her brother. Um, At the time, she was a very awesome person. She was a good person, wonderful person at the time, and that was when I met her. Um, we're not going to talk much about that because it's just not important. Um, then I ended up getting a. They tell me that the infection has turned septic. If you don't know what a septic infection is, it's where it starts to go into the bone and into your blood. Um, well, the septic infection was leading to my heart, and I was gonna die. Um, anyways, I was at work, working again, even with the infection, because I didn't realize how bad and serious it really was. Um, then the infection started leading to my heart. Obviously, I was standing at work, and it felt like my leg kind of turned to jello. Thank you for the likes on the live, guys. I love you guys. Um, and I fell down. And when I fell down, I tried to get back up, um, and it didn't work. I tried to get back up. I fell back down, and I just could not stand. When we went to the hospital, they told me that the infection had tunneled all the way to my bone, and I had a choice of either I was going to lose my leg or I was going to lose my life. I chose to lose the leg, obviously, like anybody would do. Um, so I lost the. I went into surgery. I did the surgery. The most heartbreaking moment of my life, well, at that time, was I woke up from the surgery and I went to raise my leg up and I realized there was no leg there. Well, there was part of my leg. I lost about this far underneath my leg. So I lost my foot and part of my leg. Um, and then I got sober. I was sober for about 5 years. I ended up getting an infection on the other side and had to go back to the hospital. They ended up putting this thing called a wound vac on me. It's basically this thing that's supposed to try to suck out the infection in your body. Hell yeah, we got 5 likes. It's supposed to suck out the infection of your body. It wasn't. It didn't. It worked. It worked. So they got the infection on that one. But in the time that happened, it was the lowest moment of my life. I thought I was gonna die again. I honestly thought I was gonna die. So I ended up telling my parents while we were driving there. I was in tears. I told them that I didn't want to fight anymore. I was tired of fighting. I didn't want to do it. I was sick of fighting. Um, because I have fought my whole life. I fought my addiction. I fought my disability. Then I had to fight losing a leg. Um, so when I got the second infection, we were driving there, and I told my parents, to be honest, I don't want to fight anymore. I'm tired of fighting. I want this to just kill me, and that'll be fine with me. I didn't care. Um, but I continued to fight for my family. I fought through that addiction. I mean, through that infection in my body for the second time. I managed to conquer it and get past it the second time. I didn't lose my other leg. I just lost the one leg um, not only from addiction, because when they were doing the antibiotics, I was not in my body is still damaged from addiction, so my body was not able to fight that infection. So I lost my leg. Please like the live, everybody. Um, when it happened the second time, like I said, it was the lowest moment of my life. I thought I was gonna die, and I was ready to die at that point because I was just tired of it. Um, then I fought that, and then everybody, please like the live. Please, it's just a button. All you got to do is click it. Just heart, push the heart. Um, anyways, I was sober for about 5 years after that, and then I was working. My boss hired a tweaker, which I call them tweakers because I used to be one, so I have the right to do that. Please like the live. Um, anyways, I ended up relapsing because this guy gave me meth. Um, and then sorry, and then I lost everything else. I lost my job. I lost my dog. I lost my apartment. I lost everything. And then I was living in the park. Well, brother, I appreciate you. Want to let you know you have so much value and worth. Seems like you have a great parents. I do have great parents. My parents, even through my drug addiction, it didn't matter. They stuck with me. My mom is my biggest. My mom and dad are both my biggest supporters. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here today. Because they're a lot of the reason why I got sober. Because I was tired of hurting my family. I didn't want to do it. I was tired of hurting my nephews and nieces. I was tired of hurting my sister and brother. Um, so I got sober, and everything was every. I mean, after I got sober again for the second time. So this is actually a heartbreaking thing that it hurts a lot of people. But so I was living in the park. My dad works with this guy. What's up, Dad? My dad works with this guy named Eric. They mow the lawns at the park. They take care of the parks. They water the parks. Well, one day I was sitting there, and my dad's boss turned on the sprinklers like he always does. He didn't know I was there, and my whole tent and everything that I had got wet. Well, at that moment, I was at my breaking point. I was so tired of being a drug addict. I was tired of hurting my family. I was tired of being a disappointment to everybody. I was tired of having to watch my mom cry because I was an addict and a fucking loser. Um, so at that moment, when I got that water all over me and my stuff was ruined and everything else, my dad's boss realized what happened. He came over to talk to me and let me know that he was sorry for it and he didn't mean to make that happen. Um, and he came to talk to me, and I had a conversation with him, and he asked me, "Is there anything I can do to help?" Dad, can you like the live? It's the heart. Um, just helps the channel get to more people. Um, he asked me if there was anything he could do to help, and at that point I was not sure whether I was gonna live. I wasn't sure if I was gonna continue, if I was gonna make it, if I was gonna kill myself, whatever. So I asked him. I said the only thing I really want is to talk to my dad. It's the only thing I wanted at that moment is to have a conversation with my dad and let him know that I was sorry, let him know that I wanted to get help, let him know that I was ready to change my life and I didn't want to fucking do this anymore. I was tired of being sick. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was sick of crying. I was sick of being alone. I was sick of feeling like I was worthless. And finally I got to talk to my dad, and I told him I'm gonna go to rehab. I'm ready to go to rehab. I'm ready to get right. I'm ready to do the right thing. Kimberly, hi, thank you for coming in. So I got to talk to my dad, like I said, and it was probably one of the most deep, deepest conversations I've ever had with my dad. And um, I told him I'm gonna go to rehab. I'm gonna get right. Well, I walked all the way to the rehab in my hometown, which is like a mile. It was like a mile or so away. I walked all the way there, and I asked, "Hell yeah, I'm proud of you. Be proud of yourself. You're amazing for being 7 years sober. Keep it going." So sorry. Back to my story. I went to the rehab. I asked him for help. I asked him if I could detox there. Well, my mom worked there, and also I had been 3 days sober at the time. So they told me, no, we're not going to allow you here. We can't do anything to help you. Um, so I was broken. Um, well, like I said, my mom knows the people at the rehab. She knows the people at the recovery, the outpatient people. So she went and talked to them, um, and had a conversation with them. Asked them if there was anything they could do to help me. Um, while this was happening, I had gone and bought an 8 ball of dope because I got it in my mind that I am actually 2 years sober, so I appreciate that. Um, I got it in my mind that the only way I could get help was if I went and got some drugs. So I went and bought these drugs, and I was walking down this pathway that we have in my hometown. And by some miracle, I got this call from my mom. My mom said, we may have found a place for you to go to rehab. So I threw the 8 ball of dope in the water. You know, some people talk shit about that and said I should have sold it and all this shit. But I was tired of hurting people. I was tired of being a drug addict. I was tired of being a dope dealer. I was tired of everything. So I threw the dope in the water and I walked to the outpatient building. Or no, no. Actually, I didn't walk. My mom showed up. My mom picked me up. She took me to the outpatient program there and they met with me. They said, "Hey, we're going to help you. We just need you to stay strong for one more week." Um, and this is, I'm not a God person really, but at that moment, a miracle happened to me. Don't get me wrong, miracles have happened to me throughout my whole life. I'm lucky to walk. I'm lucky to be alive. I'm lucky to be breathing and everything. But at this moment, this was a miracle that I needed. That it was a miracle that I needed at this moment to save my own life. Um, so I went to the rehab. They paid for a motel room for me, which is a lot of money. They paid for this motel room for 7 days. Thank you guys so much for the likes on the live. About the Charlie, let me finish my story and then I will talk about the Charlie Kirk thing, okay? As long as you stay and you like the live. Um, so, because I'm telling kind of my story right now, but I will get into the Charlie Kirk thing. Um, so they gave me a motel room for 7 days. I went to rehab. I got sober. Um, Everything was going great. I graduated rehab. My parents got to see me graduate rehab on my birthday. I graduated rehab, got to spend time with my parents, moved into a sober home that was like right next door to the rehab I went to. Um, and when I moved into the sober home, I lived there for about 4 months. There's nothing wrong with smoking weed. I will never be disrespectful to anybody smoking weed. I still do on occasions. Right now, I can't because I have a interview coming up. But anyways, um, I was in the sober home, and because I have one leg, and then I have a brace on the other side. I was not able to make it to the rehab. Everybody, please subscribe to me too. Please, please subscribe. We talk a lot about addiction. We talk a lot about depression. We talk a lot about suicidal ideations. We talk about a lot of things, ways to find hope, ways to find help, ways to get yourself sober and clean. We talk about those things. Um, Anyways, I was living in the sober home. I was not able to make it to the classes, so they kicked me out and dropped me off in another state at a homeless shelter. So anybody in Ontario, do not go to Lifeways. I mean, the rehab, go to rehab. Do not live in the sober homes. They will kick you out for stupid shit. Because I was not doing any drugs or anything. They kicked me out simply because I could not physically make it to the classes. Anyways, so after they kicked me out, I ended up in this in a homeless shelter out here in Boise, Idaho. Anybody wondering where I'm at? I'm in Boise, Idaho. Um, I'm still sober though. I lived in a one homeless shelter for about 4 or 5 months, and then they kicked me out for having a vape. So I moved to another one called Interface Sanctuary out here in Boise, Idaho. They're amazing people. They will help you. If you're homeless, they will help you get right. They will help you do everything. Um, so I entered a recovery program out here. I've been doing this program for over a year now, working on getting a job, working on getting out, but I am doing good. I am 2 years sober, doing amazing. Obviously, I'm doing YouTube. I sell my own merch. The back of it says, "If you believe in yourself, anything is possible," and that is 100% true. For the guy that asked about Charlie Kirk, are you still in here? Let me know if you're still in here. Elsewise, I'm not going to talk about it. Actually, I am going to talk about it, actually. I do want to talk about it. But I want to know if you're in here first. Thank you guys so much for the likes on the live. Um, I'm trying to get to at least 20 likes because that'll max out how many I've had. Um, if you guys want to talk about addiction, my addiction, I can tell you that. Again, if you want to talk about how I lost my leg, I can tell you that. Again, if you want to hear about my disability that I was born with, we could talk about that. Or we can talk about this Charlie Kirk thing and the school shootings that are happening, because I do believe those are things that need to be touched on. I do not have an affiliation with any politics. I did listen to Charlie Kirk. I do believe what happened to him was a disgrace. It made Americans look bad. It made people look disgusting. It made us look terrible. A man was shot for sharing his opinion, and that is disgusting to me. Not only that, just so nobody gets defensive or mad at me for this, I do believe I understand that there were school shootings also, and I'm not saying that that's not important because it is. The school shootings, Charlie Kirk being shot, it is miserable. It is disgusting to me. It is an embarrassment to what our country stands for, because we do not do that. In this country, we believe in sharing your opinion and being able to share your opinion without having to lose your life. We should be able to talk about anything without having to lose our lives. That is disgusting. It is miserable. It is a disgrace to this country. Um, and if anybody has a problem with that, I understand. You don't have to stay and talk to me if you have a problem with me talking about the Charlie Kirk thing or about the school shooting things, because I'm not gonna put one over the other. I would like to discuss both. So if you have something you want to say about it, please do in the comments. If you want to talk about if you have something to say about the school shootings, leave it in the comments. Um, please like the live though. If you're in here, please like my live. It helps me grow the channel. Um, and I want to make a community of people that can come in here and talk about things, talk about current events, talking about I have a disability called spina bifida. I was born with it. So I can talk about that. I lost my leg at 24 years old. I can tell you guys about that. I was a drug addict most of my life. We can talk about that. But I need to know what you guys want to talk about. Um, like I said, we can go ahead and address the Charlie Kirk thing. We can go ahead and address the shooting that happened with the president, because whether you agree with the president or not, nobody deserves to lose their life. That is disgusting. Um, and you know what? Like I said, I am not a political person in any way, shape, and form. But there's things that do need to be talked about in this country. Um, First of all, it is never okay to shoot a president, because regardless of whether you like him or hate him, he is still our standing president. So if you believe he deserved to lose his life, that's not cool. Please like the live, everybody. We have 8 likes on the live. I'm trying to get to 20. Please help me. All you have to do is push the little heart in the corner over here somewhere, or over here. I don't know where it is on your screen, but please push it. Um, Anybody, please let me know what you want to talk about. Like I said, I could tell you my story again because it is pretty traumatic. Um, because I did go through a drug addiction. Since I was 13 years old, I was a drug addict. My parents never knew anything about it, but it's because I hid things from them because I never wanted them to know. Um, I didn't want them to be disappointed at me, especially not at 13 years old being a drug addict, um, or being bullied. Because I was bullied because of the way I walk. I was bullied because I was born with a disability. Um, so nobody really liked me growing up because I had a disability. People still hate on me to this day because I have a disability, because of the way I walk. Everybody says I walk like a penguin. Um, Throughout my life, I was bullied, called a freak, called a penguin because of the way I walked. Um, I could always show you guys how I walk if you are, for some reason, interested in seeing that. I can show you um, because it's a lot of people lie online, and I don't lie. I want you guys to know the truth about me. I will never lie to you guys. I will never say anything that's just. I will never lie about anything that's happened in my life because I believe that that's wrong. Yes, there's YouTubers that feed off of that and they love to do that and they just tell you random shit. Some of them are lying. I don't lie. Like I said, I could physically show you the way I walk if you need to see it. Um, but I was born with a disability. I lost my leg at. Hold on, I'll show you. Just so you know, I'm not lying. I lost my leg at 24 years old um, due to not taking care of myself. I was so worried about working that I didn't take care of my health. Um, so I did end up losing my leg. Um, and before anybody says sorry about that or anything, I don't need anybody's, I don't need pity for it. I am not looking for pity for it. I will never, I am not that guy. I don't like to have people pitying me because I lost my leg. I don't like people pitying me because I was born with a disability. I don't like being people pitying me in any way because of anything I've been through. The things I've been through in my life have made me stronger. Just like with you guys, the things you go through in life will make you stronger. And as like the back of, this is my merch. It says, if you believe in yourself, anything is possible. And the reason why I put that on my hoodies is because I want people, anybody that's been through anything, I want you to keep going. I want you to keep fighting. I want you to never give up on yourself. Please never give up. If you need somebody to talk to, if you need somebody to help you, that's what this channel is for. It's so you can reach out to me. You can talk to me through anything you're going through. Um, whether you're going through, whether even if it's you're having a bad day and you want to talk about it, go ahead and we can talk about that. If you've been through addiction, you can come talk to me about that. If you've been through being born with a disability, we can talk about that. I was born with a disability. Um, Nobody's in here, I guess, so I'll wait for some more people to come in. Is anybody still here? Let me know. What's up, Stacy? Is this Stacy like the Stacy I know? Okay. Okay, cool. Check it out, Stacy. These are my merch. This is my merch that I made. Um, I wanted to. I got a promotional thing going on. My mom and dad are going to take pictures of themselves wearing my merch, and I'm gonna get some pictures of myself. That way, I have actual models, real people, so you guys can see what my merch looks like on actual people. Um, but I do sell merch. I do it differently than most people do. Okay. Um, I look for where are you at, Stacy? Like what state are you in? Which state are you in? You're in California? Okay. Um, so when I am done with this live, I will go online. I will look for different shelters because I believe there's quite a few shelters out there. Um, I will do research. I will call some people for you. I will look into some stuff for you. Um, Do you have an addiction of any kind? Even if it's even if you have an addiction to marijuana or you take pills or anything? Not at all. Not you don't have none at all. Okay. Um. Okay. Um. I was gonna say if you do have an addiction of any kind, I could also look into recovery programs for you. Um. I know that they do have some things um called uh protecting women or something like that. Okay. Okay. I get that. So I will go online and I will do some research after I'm done on this live. You're in my Discord, right? If you're in my Discord, when you first go into Discord, go to my channel, like my actual, where it shows all my channels. Go on. There's a little. Well, I will try to do some research for you also. But in Discord, go on my channel, make a message directly to me, or you can look up Scottie Cully. It's ScottiCulley. If you write that down, go on to Facebook. It's a picture of me flipping off the camera. Um, I have a bunch of them. Just add every single one of them, and then whichever one accepts the notification, reach out to me through Facebook. Leave me a message. I will do some research for you. Um, Even if it's in different towns in California, as long as you are willing to go, I will look at some different stuff for you, um, and see if we can find a way to get you there. Um, that way, you get some kind of help through whatever. If anybody that needs help through drug addiction or homelessness or whatever, if you reach out to me directly on Facebook, I'm probably going to get a lot of spam messages because I said my name on Facebook. I mean, on here. Give me a second. I can't comment on my own stuff, I don't think. That's fine. So even with a service animal, they cannot deny you. It is illegal to deny somebody with a service animal. Um, illegal for them to do that. You actually are allowed to take your service animal anywhere you go. Anybody that denies you, they're breaking the law. That is just a fact. And I know that even government buildings will allow you to bring service animals in. Um, but I will do some research for you. Like I said, add me on Facebook. I will reach directly back out to you as soon as I figure something out. And then, like I said, as long as you're willing to go, even if it's in a different town in in California, I will reach out to some people and see if they can help you get there. Yes, Scottie Cully. That's exactly how you spell it. And it's on Facebook. You can reach out to me directly. Leanne is a friend of mine on Facebook, so she knows me. Like I said, when I'm done here, which will probably be another hour, probably is what it'll be. We will try to get you in somewhere immediately. I will, like I said, I'll do some research about some places in um, California, and I will reach out to them. Which town in California? Actually, message me on Facebook. Tell me which town in California you're in, and I will look in the surrounding areas and see if we can get you somewhere. I will do my best to help you in any way possible. Um, and if nothing else, if we can't find something immediately, um, I mean, I won't have Pomona. Okay, I just didn't want to. The reason why I said tell me on Facebook is because I don't want people to. I don't necessarily want everybody else to know where you're at, just for safety reasons. Everybody like the live that's in here, but I will reach out to organizations there um, that may be able to help you, whether it's getting a motel room for a day or for a couple days or something. That way you can at least go somewhere, you can shower somewhere, you can lay in a bed, you can do whatever you got to do. And if nothing else, I will start a GoFundMe for you. Or another thing you can do um, is start a GoFundMe and you got another appointment. Okay. Um, and all the places you've called, keep calling them. Don't give up. Just continue calling them until somebody answers. Tell them that you're homeless. Tell them that you have nowhere else to go. Tell them you have a service animal. Tell them everything about you. Tell them you have cancer. I know it's overwhelming, but you have to keep your head up and you have to keep going. Never give up. The only way you lose in life is if you give up. So please do not ever give up. Um, if you have friends out there, um, have them help you call. Um, because I know that it's kind of hard to do it you're just by yourself. Um, please do not ever give up, and do not ever hesitate to reach out to me directly and message me if you need to talk. Anybody in here that hasn't liked the live, please do. Like I said, never ever hesitate to reach out and talk to me. I will always respond, especially if it's something important. I will respond and I will reach back out to you. I have no problems with that. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, my I'm trying to put my portable charger in shit. I know it's you may have been on there all morning, but just keep calling because you got to realize that a lot of those homeless shelters, um, if they're day shelters, um, they should obviously be picking up the phone. But if they're overnight shelters, they have a lot of people calling them, so it takes a while to get through to them. Um, but make sure if you get a hold of people, tell them everything about you. Tell them about the cancer. Tell them about the service dog. Tell them how long you've been on the streets. Tell them everything. There is. Don't just look at that though. Have you reported your car to the cops? You're cancer free. Oh, okay. I thought you still had cancer. I'm think that's good. That's awesome. I am glad to at least hear that. Um, because I have a buddy that has fought through cancer and everything else. He's moving to Florida. Um, one thing I will tell you, um, and I'm not telling you to move away from California. Okay, they have to do it near their cancer. Oh, so just to make sure that there's nothing in there and shit. Um, Like I said, don't stop calling them. Keep calling them all day. Even if you have an appointment, make sure you're calling them. Um, when you get to your appointment, let them know. When you get your appointment, let them know you're homeless. Let them, because a lot of the hospitals and stuff, they can help you. Um, there's probably organizations out there that will help you. I will, like I said, I will do my research. In for a while after I get off of here. I'll look into some stuff for you. If I can find something out for you, I will help you. Um, I will do everything I can to help. I would get a hold of not just the regular cops, get a hold of the sheriff's department, let them know. Um, and if the cops told you that, you need to go in, you need to ask to talk to a sergeant or somebody that's in charge and talk directly to them. What's a 909? And if the cops aren't willing to help you, I would get a hold of a lawyer and tell them, look for a pro bono lawyer, which means a pro bono lawyer, they don't take any money from you unless you win the case. Um, tell them what the cops said. The area code, okay. Like I said, reach out to me on Facebook. Let me know all this stuff in a message. That way I can save it. I can do my research because I don't have anything to write anything down right now. I know that there's lots of organizations that will help you. Um, go to every church that you have out there. Tell them what's going on. Churches will help you. That's one thing I know 100% for a fact. Churches will help you. They might only pay for a room for a night, but they will help you. Um, whether you believe in God or not, that's not the point. Um, go to Christian churches. Christian churches tend to be the ones that help more. I don't know, really know about Catholic churches and all of those guys. I'm not a Catholic. I'm not a Christian. I'm actually not religious. But I do know that every time I've gone to a church, they have helped me. They've at least paid for gas. They've helped me pay my bills. They've helped me a lot. So reach out to every church in the surrounding area. I just got your notification, so I will accept that. I just seen your notification pop up, so I do have you on there. Give me a second. Confirm. Whoops. Sorry. Confirm. I got your notification, so I will reach back out to you when I'm done. Stacy, I got your notification. Also, anybody on here that's watching, if you choose to reach out to me on Facebook for if you're struggling with something, doesn't matter what it is, you can reach out to me on Facebook, you can reach out to me on Discord, Instagram, um, TikTok even. You can reach out to me. It's Crazy Legs on TikTok. Or no, it's Scottie Cully on TikTok. Um, like I said, Stacy, if you're still in here, go to churches. Number one, like I said, I've gone to churches and they help you every time. I know they will, for a fact. Churches will at least pay for a motel room. They pay for a voucher. It's called a motel room voucher, where you can go in, you give it to the people at the fucking front desk. and it pays for a room for a couple days or for a day or whatever. But even a day is better than nothing. Um, you can ask for help from a church at least once a month, and they will pay for a motel room. But like I said, don't just reach out to one church. Reach out to every church you can find. Um, reach out to as many people as you can. I will do the same. I will try to help you. Give me a second, guys. I got people who should. Is anybody in here yet? Anybody in here at all? Um, I am Scottie Cully, born with a disability. I lost my leg when I was 24. Fought through drug addiction my whole life. Fought through bullying my whole life. Okay, you left. Well, fuck you. We've been on here for an hour now. We're going to stay on here for about another hour. I don't know who you are. Stop messaging me. Stacy, I got your notification. I will reach back out to you when I'm done. Messing with my stuff. What's up, everybody? Anybody coming in? Please like the live. We got 9 likes on the live so far. We're doing good. Also, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to or join my Discord. I have a Discord. I have a Facebook you can reach out to me on. I have a TikTok you can reach out to me on. Whatever. If you're going through something, you need somebody to talk to, you can reach out to me. My name's Scottie Cully. You can find me on Facebook. Last name is Culley. Fuck you too for leaving. Oh, oh. Sorry, guys. I had to lay down for a second. My back is killing me. Man, I wish I had one of those school desks. You know how you used to pop your back on the desks at school? I really wish I still had one of those. What's up? Thank you for coming in. Please like the live. Please share. Please subscribe. We talk about addiction on here. We talk about depression on here. Suicidal thoughts on here. People who are born with a disability. We talk about that. People who have lost a body part, like me. I lost my leg when I was 24. We talk about those things. We do a lot of different stuff on these channels. If you watch my short videos, I have a lot of positive quotes, staying strong quotes, motivational quotes, all kinds of things. We also do haunted videos here. We do explore abandoned buildings things here. We do a whole lot of stuff on this channel. Like I said, addiction, depression, losing a body part. If you're an amputee, talk about those things. I could tell my story. If you want to hear that again, let me know in the comments. Whatever you want to talk about, we could talk about here. Doesn't matter. You can come in here and talk about whatever you want. As long as you're respectful, we will talk about it. So let me know if you want to talk about something. I see one person in here. Please leave a comment. Please like the live. All you have to do is push the heart and you like the live. It's very easy. Helps grow this channel so we can help more people survive through addiction or depression or suicidal thoughts. Anything, whether they're just having a bad day and they're thinking about suicide, we talk about those things. Um, so please like the live. Please subscribe. Do what you do. The simple things. It's pretty easy. You just push a button, and it's free. Completely free. You don't got to pay for nothing. You just got to be genuine, or you just got to be kind enough to leave a comment and leave a like on the live. And if you want to subscribe back, I can do that too. But you got to subscribe to me first, and you got to like the live first. I do follow. I subscribe for subscribe. So, anyways, I don't know who's in here, but thank you for coming in and hanging out for a minute. Even if you leave, I appreciate you. I would appreciate it if you liked the live, but looks like you're not going to do that. So, whatever, Karen, whatever. If you're coming in, like the live. All you got to do is push one button. It's very easy. We are talking about my disability. We're talking about how I lost my leg, my drug addiction, all these things. Please like the live. Come on, guys. It's pretty easy. You just got to push a button. If you stayed and watched this long, you could at least give me a like. Even if you don't want to subscribe, just like the dang video. I'm trying to make a difference in the world, and we talk about. I mean, even if you want to talk about the Charlie Kirk thing or the school shootings that have been happening, we could talk about those things. Um, there's nothing really I'm opposed to talking about. There's anything that you want to talk about, bring it up, and we can talk about it. I am very open to talking about just about anything. Or we could just sit here. If you want to just sit here and watch the water, you can do that too. Come on, guys, like the live. It's really freaking easy to do. Get out of here. Anybody coming in, please like my live. It's not hard. It's as easy as pushing a simple button. Also, this is the new merch. On the back, it says, if you believe in yourself, anything is possible. I put a lot of work into this YouTube stuff. I work my ass off, and I do a lot. I'm going to go ahead and tell my story again. If you want to stay and listen, go ahead and do that. If you don't, that's fine too. My name's Scottie Cully. I was born in a little small town in Baker City, Oregon. I was born with a disability called spina bifida. It's where my legs were backwards when I was born. My spine was crooked when I was born. Still is. Just not as bad. So I walk funny. I was, like I said, born with a disability. I have leg braces. One leg brace, the other one, I lost that leg on the other side. Um, I was bullied growing up because nobody wanted to hang out with me. Nobody wanted to be my friend. Nobody cared that I was born with a disability. They didn't like me because of that. Um, girls didn't like me growing up because I was born with a disability. Um, and I'm telling you, none of this needs pity. I don't need pity from nobody. Um, just respect. Um, so I was bullied growing up, called a penguin, called a freak, called a loser. Wasn't allowed. I didn't get to play with other kids because they didn't like me. I had about two friends growing up until I got to middle school. I got some friends that were fighters. They loved to fight. My buddy Christian Barfus was one of my best friends growing up. If somebody picked on me, he would beat the shit out of them and defend me. Um, I started my addiction with pills at the age of 13 because I was bullied my whole life. I found drug addiction through pills, marijuana, alcohol. Um, Nobody really liked me, like I said, growing up. So the drug world is where I found my escape. I did drugs. I did pills, weed, and alcohol until I turned 21. On my 21st birthday, I found methamphetamines because my brother was doing them. Um, I walked upstairs. My brother was doing something in the corner, and I was trying to figure out what the hell he was doing. Well, he was hitting a meth pipe, and so I walked up on him and asked him what the hell he was doing. He turned around with the meth pipe in his hand and told me, "Well, I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm doing meth." So I decided to try meth for the first time. Um, and it became an escape for me into the drug world. Because in the drug world, nobody judged me because I walked different. Nobody judged me for anything that I went through. Um, they all just cared that I was there, hanging out with them, doing drugs with them, having fun. Well, at least at that time, I thought it was fun. Um, I did meth for up until I was 25, I believe. And then I got an infection in my body. Um, I got an infection. I got a rock in the bottom of my foot. Um, and I didn't feel it because when with the thing with spina bifida is you don't feel pretty much the lower half of your body. Nobody's liking the live. I would appreciate it if you would actually do that. It's not hard. Um, Anyways, back to the story. I lost my leg. I got an infection in my body. Didn't know there was an infection there. I had that hole in my bottom of my foot. It started to hurt really bad. So I ended up going to the hospital, to the emergency room. They started giving me antibiotics. Every week I had to go get antibiotics. Um, I did that till I was 26, or not 26. Yeah, I turned 26 in the midst of this. Um, I spent my birthday getting antibiotics. Um, I got the antibiotics were not working in my body, so I ended up having to. I got a choice of either I lose my leg or I lose my life. I chose to lose the leg because it was the only option I thought I had, which it was. Um, then I got sober for 5 years, went to rehab, spent 3 months in a rehab. Fucking piece of shit. I did antibiotics or I lost my leg. Let's go back to that. I lost my leg, and um, then my infection turned to a septic infection because the antibiotics weren't working. Um, so I got an option of either I was going to lose my life or I was going to lose my leg. I chose to lose the leg because the leg's not really important. It is important, but it's not important. It was a lot more important to me that I didn't die. I'm going to stop talking because nobody's in here, so fuck my life. Guess I'll wait for some more people coming in. What the fuck? Thank you for anybody coming in. I appreciate you. If you want to hear about my drug addiction, you want to hear about how I lost my leg, you want to hear about my spina bifida that I was born with, let me know and I will tell that story. Please like the live. you took the time to come in, so at least like the live for me. That I would appreciate that. This is a channel. You're an asshole. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. No, you fucking piece of shit. I might end the live because nobody's here and I'm not just going to sit here by myself. I feel like a dickhead. I don't know how that makes sense. Just trying to save my hands in front of the thing. Hey Megan, what's up? Um, I've been on here telling my story about how I lost my leg and the disability I was born with. Because I was born with a disability called spina bifida. I talk about bullying on here. I talk about how to change your mindset on here. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Like the live for me if you can. You just got to push the little heart thing. Also, please subscribe. If you have something you want to talk about, we could talk about that. Or if you want to hear my story, I could tell my story. That is 100% up to you. Thank you for liking the live. Um, like I said, if you want to hear my story, I could tell my story from the beginning till now. Um, because I have struggled with addiction. I have struggled with losing on my leg. I've struggled with being born with a disability. Um, you haven't heard that. You want to hear the story? Okay. So obviously, my name is Scottie Cully. You know that. Um, I was born with a disability called spina bifida, um, where my spine was crooked when I was born. My legs were backwards when I was born. Um, I was bullied growing up because I was different than everybody else, which caused me to have a lot of anger towards people. Um, I was picked on. I was called a freak. I was called a penguin. I was called a loser. I was told that I couldn't hang out with people because they didn't want to hang out with somebody that lost that. Sorry, they didn't want to hear nothing. They didn't want to hang out with somebody that had a disability. Thank you for all the hearts. Um, so I was bullied all the way up until I hit middle school. And then I met a friend named Christian Barfus. He became basically like a protector of mine. People would make fun of me. I would tell him about it, and he'd go fight them because he didn't like it. He also taught me how to defend myself through that. Um, so um, when I was a lot of like being born with a disability, I was constantly having to go across all the way to Portland for my disability, stuck in a hospital all day doing stuff called that's the Shriner Hospital. I'm sure you've heard of it. Um, but when I hit middle school, I learned how to defend myself. Um, so I, but then I around wound up. My brother introduced me to pills when I was 13 years old because he thought it would help with my pain and everything else. So he got me some Vicodin one day. I started doing Vicodin. I did Vicodin and marijuana and alcohol all the way up until I was 21 years old. I did manage to graduate high school by some miracle. Um, I I turned 21, and my brother was upstairs doing something. He was had his back face to me, and I was just like, "What the hell are you doing?" So I walked up on him. He didn't know I was there. So I walked up on him. He turned around real quick because I startled him, and he had this pipe in his hand with a bulb on the end of it, which is, if you know anything about drugs, it's a meth pipe. Well, it was my 21st birthday, and I said, "Hey, what are you doing?" He said he was smoking meth. He told me, or he was doing meth. He didn't say smoking meth. He said, I'm using meth. I said, "Well, I want to try it." He said no. Well, I had a guy downstairs that was my brother's friend. I walked down there and said, "Hey, I know you're doing meth with my brother. I know you are. You have to be." So I chose to do meth with him for the first time, and I did meth all the way up until I was 25. When I turned 25, I got a hole in the bottom of my foot, and I didn't really know because when you have spina bifida, you don't feel your bottom half really. So I I was smoking drugs still, doing drugs, um, and then all of a sudden I started getting this weird pain all the way up my leg. It's the first time I ever felt pain in my body in my lower half, but I felt pain all the way up to my up to my top of my leg, and I wasn't able to walk. I was sitting at a job that I was working at, and I went to step down, and I collapsed to the floor, and I went to try to get back up. Hello. Um, I went to get up. I fell back down, and then I called my mother. My mother rushed me to the hospital, and they told me, "Hey, we're going to put you on antibiotics for the next 6 months until until we can see that it's making a difference." Well, unfortunately, what happened was the antibiotics were building up in the back of my leg, and they weren't working. So, um, I after 6 months of doing that, um, sorry, there's some people go walking by, so I had to wave at them and let them know that I was um, just be nice to them. They're mentally handicapped people, so I was being nice and waving to them. Um, Not that their disability matters, but so it got to a point because the antibiotics were building up in the back of my leg. They said either you're going to lose your leg or you're going to lose your life. So I said, okay, take the leg. I It took me about 3 months to get my prosthetic leg. I was supposed to do physical therapy. I said I wasn't going to do physical therapy. I didn't need it. I was walking with a walker, and I ended up at one point just pushing the walker out of my way and saying, "I'm not using this stupid walker anymore. I'm not doing it. All it's doing is tripping me up." So I learned how to walk again. I went back to the job that I was working at. I worked there for about another year, and then my boss hired this new cook. Well, this new cook was a meth addict. I didn't know this at the time. I walked outside. He had a little baggie of meth, and I said, "Bro," like it was a weird thing where my brain was like, "All right, um, well, there's some things that I don't really want to mention that happened with an ex of mine. I gave her two different. I gave her an apartment. I gave up my house to her after we broke up because I wanted her kids to have a place to live. Um, that's not really important. She's not really important. She's not a nothing. She doesn't matter in my life. Um, that's I don't mean to say that disrespectfully. I don't really care, but she was not a good person to me. Anyways, fast forward to me relapsing on meth. So I went. I was still working at my where I worked. I did meth for about 4 months. My boss knew I was doing it, but at the time I was continuing to work. I was doing what I needed to do, so he didn't really care about that. I mean, he didn't want me doing it, but he didn't want to stop. He couldn't stop me. Well, I got to a point where I was in 4 months of doing meth again, hanging out with gang members, hanging out with the worst people I possibly could. Um, don't get me wrong, some of those people are still my friends, but they're all sober now. Um, anyways, I took my dog with me. I had a dog. It was the only thing I had really left, other than my family. This dog meant the world to me. While I was doing drugs, my dog was being loud in the motel because I lived in a motel that was connected to the restaurant. After I gave up my two apartments, or my apartment and my house, I moved to the motel. I was back to doing meth again. 4 months later, my boss fired me because he didn't want to keep giving me money to continue using drugs. He did it out of love, not out of being an asshole or anything like that. He wasn't trying to be mean. He just wanted me to get help. Um, so he fired me. Well, before that, he made me get rid of my dog, which was the most heartbreaking thing I ever had to do. Getting rid of your dog is the most heartbreaking thing you can do, especially when it's the only thing you really have left. Um, so I gave away my dog. I kept working. My boss found out I was using meth still. He told me, "Hey, I have to fire you." He said, "It's not because I don't love you, it's not because I don't care about you, but I can't keep giving you money to do meth." So he fired me. I got kicked out of the motel, which was my own fault. I ended up living in a park for about 4 months. My mom was off and on bringing me food, helping me, doing what she could. Um, because I wasn't allowed to live in their house because of things I did before that, because I stole from them. I did some stupid shit. Um, then I ended up in this park living in a tent. Well, one day my dad works at the place, or my dad works at a place where they mow the lawns at the parks and stuff. Well, his boss went to turn on the sprinklers, not knowing I was there. He wouldn't have done it if he knew I was there. Um, he did that. Well, then he realized I was there, came over to talk to me, and I was crying, bawling my eyes out because I was tired of being a drug addict. I had hit a breaking point where I was tired of being a drug addict. So I told him, or he asked me, "Is there anything I could do?" Well, my dad was there. I said, "The only thing I want to do is I want to talk to my dad one last time." Because at that point, I was pretty sure I was going to die. I had it in my heart I was going to die. My dad walked over. I started bawling, told him I was sorry I was a disappointment. Sorry I was a piece of shit of a son. Sorry I was a fuck up. Sorry I didn't. All I did was disappoint them. Um, and he said he still loved me. He just didn't love what I was doing. Um, which broke my heart because he still said he loved me, and I didn't believe at that time I deserved any love. I felt like I deserved to die. I felt like I deserved to fucking lose my life. I felt like I was nothing but a piece of shit loser. I felt like I was a disgrace as a son, a disappointment as a son. Well, he came over to me, he talked to me, and it was the deepest conversation I've ever had with my dad. And I said, "Man, all I want to do is get right. I'm tired of doing drugs. I'm tired of living this way." I told him I wanted to go to rehab. I just didn't know if I could. Well, I walked all the way to the rehab in my hometown. When I got there, um, they told me that they weren't going to help me because my mom worked there. My mom works at the rehab in my hometown. Well, because my mom worked there, they said they weren't going to help me, and the detox place told me that they weren't going to help me because I was already 3 days sober. So they told me, "No, we're not going to help you." Well, the only thing that they told me when I went back to talk to my mom at the rehab is I told my mom they said they weren't going to help me, that they couldn't help me. Well, that broke my mom's heart, and she asked anybody at the rehab if they had any ideas of anything I could do. They told me to go talk to the outpatient place there. I went there. I talked to them, told them I just want to get help. I just want to live. I don't want to die. I don't want to be a drug addict anymore. I was tired of being a drug addict. I was angry at myself for being a drug addict. I hated myself for being a drug addict. Well, they told me they couldn't. What they were going to do is they were going to pay for a motel room for a couple of days until they could help me figure something out. Well, they ended up paying for a week in this motel room. If you don't know how much money that is, it's a lot of money that they put in to helping me. So I sat in this motel room by myself for a week, crying, angry, finally actually having a place where I could go shower, where I could sleep, where I could spend some time. I could watch TV. I could play video games. I could actually use my phone because of the Wi-Fi, obviously. Um, in that time, I told everybody that I knew, all my friends that I was doing drugs with, I don't want to be around you. I'm going to rehab. I'm don't going to do the right thing. So please don't talk to me unless you're sober. Please don't talk to me. Which everybody that I knew actually respected that. They respected the fact that I was going to get help, which is actually amazing. Um, so I sat in this motel room for a whole week, waiting to go to rehab. Um, then I went to rehab. I graduated rehab. I did 3 month program in rehab. I got to graduate on my birthday, October  12th. I got to graduate. I graduated. They moved me into a sober home that was right next door to the rehab. I stayed in that for about 4 months. Um, and then there was about a week span of where I could not get to the outpatient classes because I was still doing outpatient classes at that point. So they kicked me out of the sober home because I was not physically able to get to the classes. They kicked me out, and they had so little respect for me that they sent me to a sober home. I mean, not a sober home, a homeless shelter in Boise, Idaho. I stayed at one homeless shelter for about 5 months. Then they kicked me out because I had a vape, and they said, "Well, you are breaking the rules. They're God. They push God on you. They do all this stupid shit. Whether you believe in God or not, they push it on you. They try to make you do the program there. I wasn't willing to do the program. They found a vape in my stuff. They kicked me out. Then I ended up at another homeless shelter, which I'm at now. I've been there for a year now. I'm still sober. I'm 2 years sober now. Um, I still do recovery classes, but that's why I do this. I do this YouTube. I do YouTube so I can reach out to people. I could tell them my stories. I could save people's lives. I can try to help people get right in their lives. Um, I learned how to be more positive. Doing this YouTube stuff helped me learn how to be more positive. It helped me how to learn how to have a better mindset to where I can teach other people how to have a better mindset. It made it to where I can reach this platform has made it to where I can reach out to other people and save other people's lives and talk to people about addiction, talk to them about anything like the things that I went through. Again, if you want to hear my story again, there's a poll in the bottom. You can leave a vote on there. If you vote yes, I'll tell my story again. If I see a vote on there, I will tell my whole story again. I have no problem with telling my story again. Um, that's 100% fine. If you want to hear that again, just like a lot, put a vote on there. Um, now I use this platform to help people that have, whether they know somebody that goes through depression, whether they know somebody that's been through drug addiction, or whether they have been through drug addiction, or they deal with depression, or um, whether you've lost a body part, you've lost family, whether you're dealing with deaths in your life, um, whether you just don't know how to be positive, no matter what it is, you can reach out to me on this platform. We can talk about it. I can help you through things, whatever it is. I'm going to help a person on here named Stacy. She is homeless. I'm going to reach out to homeless shelters in her hometown, and I'm going to try to get her a place to live. at least somewhere where she can have a roof over her head for the time being until she can figure something out. I am that kind of guy. If you're struggling with something and you don't know how to get help yourself, you can reach out to me on Facebook. You can reach out to me in my Discord, which is in my bio. Um, that way, I can physically call places for you. I can help you get help, whatever you need. Um, does not matter to me if what you've been through. I can help you. Um, because that's the kind of person I am. I've been through so much in my life that now all I want to do is give back and help other people. Um, I do sell merch. If you see this on the back of it, it says, "If you believe in yourself, anything is possible." So if just one thing I want you to always remember is not to give up on yourself. Megan, um, I know that you go through depression and you go through things in your life. What I want you to try for me is every morning when you wake up, every morning for 30 days, I want you to write out a gratitude list of 5 things you're grateful for. And then I want you to write a list of good things that you see about yourself. Um, they're called affirmations. I want you to write 5 good affirmations about yourself, and I want you to do this for the next 30 days. The reason why I say for 30 days, it takes 30 days to develop a habit. Meaning, if you do things consecutively for 30 days, it will automatically become a habit and it will be part of your daily routine. I want you to try it just because one thing I've learned, and when you're also, after you've written those 2 lists, lay it on your pillow. That way, after you get off work, after you've had a bad day, whatever it is, when you go to lay down for bed, you'll see that piece of paper, you'll read those things again, and it'll change your day. It'll make it to where you have a better day. Um, and throughout your day, look at positive things in your life, because no matter how bad things are, there's always positive things in your life you can look at. And I know that I've been through everything that I've been through. You heard my story. Everything I've been through, I could be the most negative person in the world if I wanted to. But the thing is, I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to be that negative guy anymore. I don't want to be negative. I want to have a positive life. I want to have a better life. I want to be a better person. Um, and I myself do the positive affirmations. I do the 5 things I'm grateful for. Um, and once you've done that for 30 days, move up to 10 things. Start writing 10 things after 30 days. But I want you to focus on the 5 things of gratefulness and 5 good things about yourself. I want you just to start that way. And then when you get to 30 days, I want you to start writing 10 things. And the reason why you do that is because when you start seeing those good things about yourself, you awaken your mind to more and more things that are good about you. More you start to realize there's more and more things to be grateful for. Um, and even with your kid, I know you have struggles with your kid. Um, but the fact that you made a baby and you brought a life into this world, that is an amazing thing. And that is one thing that you should always look at and realize no matter how hard things are going right now, you made kids, beautiful kids. And I don't even have to see your kids to know that they're beautiful kids, because there's every child in this world is a beautiful thing that was brought into this world. And 2 of the most beautiful things in this world that I've known is women that have kids, not necessarily just women that have kids. The fact that women can bring children into this world, and children. Those are the 2 most beautiful things in this world. Women and children. Um, and I don't mean women in like a misogynistic, disrespectful, douchebag way. I mean that in a respectful way. Because you, as a mother, you are a beautiful, beautiful human being that brought beautiful human beings into this world. That is just one good thing about you. Another good thing about you, because I can give you 5 things that I've seen since I've talked to you. Another good thing about you is you continue to fight. You continue to do what you have to do in this life, and you continue to fight. You continue to make your life what it is. Um, Not only that, you a third thing, you're willing to talk to people about what you go through. I mean, you didn't even know me when we first started talking, and when we started to get to know each other a little bit, you opened up to me about what was going on in your life. That is a beautiful thing, being able to talk to people about the things you are going through, because you never know, Megan. Your story could change somebody's life. You could save somebody's life by telling your story. Not only that, even through this is a fourth thing, even through the bad things in your life, the bad and the good, you have a story to tell this world. The struggles you've been through, those are beautiful things. Um, Not only that, you're using that fifth thing. You are using your struggles to make you stronger. That is amazing. That is beautiful, and it's something you should be proud of. It's a beautiful thing. You might not see it now, but someday you're going to look back and you're going to say, holy shit, I went through all these struggles, and now look at my life now. Now my life is a beautiful thing. And don't get me wrong, your life is a beautiful thing now. But as you get stronger and you build and you learn these things throughout your life, and you start learning more ways to change your mindset, um, your life will get better, and you will realize, like, the reason why my life is so beautiful now is because all the struggles I went through in my life. Even your struggles are a beautiful thing. And everybody needs to realize that. Your struggles are a beautiful thing. And see, there you go. There's a sixth thing you have to look forward to. You got your daughter back. That is a beautiful thing. When a mother gets her kid back and her daughter gets to live her life with her, that is a beautiful thing. See, that is something you have. See, that's 6 things that we came up with on the spot right now. And if I can find those good things about you, then you can find those good things about yourself. Just like anybody else. If you can get up in the morning, because I see 2 people in here, and I want you to listen to this. If you can get up in the morning and write 5 good things about yourself and 5 things you're thankful for in this world, and do it for 30 days, it will be sorry, it will become a habit that you form, where every day you will start to think positive, and you'll start thinking 5 good things about yourself every single day. 5 things you're grateful for. It'll automatically be burned into your brain that you need to do that every day. And if you're a religious person, read the Bible. Even the Bible says that you should look at beautiful things in your life and be grateful for the beautiful things in your life. And I know this as a person, and I'm not religious. I don't believe in God, but I have read the Bible, and there's some beautiful things in the Bible, and I will admit that. Just like the Buddhist way. I'm not a Buddhist either, but the Buddhists believe in positivity. They believe in looking for grateful things you're grateful for in your life. They are they believe in learning how to find positive things in your life. Um, Even if you're a Catholic, I have no problems with anybody's religion at all. But I want you to start finding positivity in your life, because your life is worth living. No matter how hard it gets, no matter what struggles you go through, your life is worth living. Your life is worth fighting for. Your life is an amazing thing. You are a beautiful soul that was brought into this world for a reason. And I want you to remember that every single day. There's nothing in this world that can stop you from being what you want to be. There's nothing in this world that can stop you from being positive except for you. You are the one that chooses whether you're going to have a bad day or whether you're going to have a good day. But we are at about an hour and 36 minutes. Um, so I am probably going to call it a day for the day. I love you, every single one of you. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day. And I'm sending good vibes, love, respect, appreciation, all those things I am sending your way. But I am going to leave. I am going to go back to where I am staying, and I'm going to do some stuff. Peace, love, respect, good vibes. Love you and have a great day.